Wait, this is kind of nice.
Alright, so Marco's on his way.
Okay.
Just pinged him and you at the same time, so he should definitely be here soon.
Alright.
Yeah, I just kind of like want to say what happened because it was, I think, let me see, 2 days ago, I think it was. Let me check the text. 2 nights ago, but it was like AU. So I was kind of like clocked in, but I was winding down for the night, and I didn't speak to any of the employees about it. You and Joanne, I think, both did, but I didn't speak of it to anybody except for seeing the tweet.
Mm-hmm. So,
hey.
Oh, hi.
All right, well, you can pull out my tablet and you can lay it on me.
Yeah, I hope you're ready for this one. Do you kind of know how the, I guess, dynamic with the 3 realtors, 3 managers, 3 farms is?
Yeah, Colt only vaguely explained it. There'd
Okay.
be 3 people that were like running their own realty businesses of sorts, and yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
guys,
so basically we were told friendly competition, but we have hard guidelines to follow in accordance of the guidelines that were brought through the mayor's office, as well as myself being a former realtor.
It was turned down before.
We kind of had a lot of
a little delay,
policies that were just always a no-go because it was just immoral and unethical. Basically, 2 nights ago, it was around AU, one of the employees at the Night Real Estate Group started tweeting out that they were offering rebates on their bids, essentially purchasing bids for you to go to their company over the others. And that has always been a no-go zone and a hard stop. It was to the point that I thought it was completely unethical, that I immediately reported it to Colt as like an urgency, because that's just not how any real estate has ever operated in the state. I was then told by people, oh yeah, they're from Mosey's, they did it over there too. So I think
Ellie
that
got
they
strong
are
legs.
assuming that the job title they have, you're allowed to like skirt lines and like have gray areas. But in my opinion, this position, you can't do that. Basically, you're saying to people that you're going to give half back is basically guaranteeing every single client only goes to you. You're allowed to have creativity. You're allowed to have different business models, but you 100% cannot exchange your part of your, basically giving back part of your commission.
Yeah, and I also had one of them like confirm to me that's what he was doing.
Go ahead, I guess from the start, Joanne, and just kind of say what happened.
So one thing I do want to say is, so Section B of our regulations that were freshly written up, and again, they're not concrete, but they are a stencil, is detailed as government property abuses. And it says any actions that would see a realtor benefit from their access to government contracted properties, including buying their own listings, or buying them through a proxy for additional profit outside commission. So I think with the broadness of that term, that one could possibly say that they're buying their own listings by offering rebates. So with the information that I have right now, I'm going to try to swing it towards that, which FYI, just so you're aware, would be a removal of job and a $50,000 fine. So if there's enough concrete evidence, and you guys, is there regulations for realtors that have you been given?
Yes. So I can share
Mind
that to
shooting
you.
those towards me? Yeah.
This is going to be the document that I created this document, but it was this document from the one that was sent out, via the state. I gave this to every single person that I interviewed, so they would be fully aware of the current policies.
Okay, yeah, this looks like what I'm looking at. I just have the whole broad spectrum.
Yeah, no, I only copied the real estate portion because that was the only thing that was necessary during those interviews.
Right. Okay.
So the extent of my knowledge to the event was Ellie texting me that they were posting that. I didn't know because it was like AU and I was kind of like my wind down hour. Once I was notified of it, I immediately reported it up to Colt. And then I talked to a couple people because, again, I was told that somebody else was overseeing the real estate C.O.C. So I spoke to Nash and asked him for some advice. He called me this morning and said that he was going to take care of the report. And if he said he was going to give the report to you. And if you weren't available, that he was going to take care of it himself, because he was very upset and also in agreement that that is a complete no-go zone.
Yeah, I can definitely see how it would be problematic to you guys' market.
Yep. And okay, now we can go with what Joanne experienced and then what Ellie experienced, and then that'll be it.
Maybe do Ellie's first, because I then told you after I saw what the L post was. And I think mine's is last to what was experienced.
Then before you go, Ellie, what is it's night real estate? What night? What is it called?
I believe it's Travis's last name. Check.
I just did it. Night Real Estate Group. Oh, God.
Okay. Well, I'm ready, Ellie.
Okay. Do you want everything from the start or just like pertaining to this?
Well, if you deem that it's factual and would help get this sorted, then by all means. My only request is that you speak at least a tiny bit slower than you normally would, because I am in fact court reportering the fuck out of this. I'm writing it all.
Okay. I guess the other like stuff is more he shouldn't be in the position he's in because he doesn't know what he's doing. So initially we all had a meeting where we were told not to list certain listings for, the first little bit, because we didn't want chaos amongst the economy and real estate. Colt then told him again the day that he hired him, and his first listing was a no-go property. Like, he wasn't supposed to do it. And he called me, and he was, like, trying to just, like, spin excuses, like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to see where it was. Now, if you have seen the Realtor app, you cannot mistakenly post a listing. It is one very clear button on the tablet that says create listing. Like, you cannot accidentally do it.
Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like, Marco. Let me send it to you.
Yeah, there's another that says create GPS marker, which is the opposite. So if you wanted to see where it was, then...
After that happened and he called me, I didn't believe him. I don't, fall for lies just because you have a voice that you think you can convince people of. Very condescending tone, I don't buy that. I've dealt with that shit enough in my life. I know when it's being spun towards me again. His hiree, Mickey, called me and then was trying to like justify and make excuses for him, calling him, old. He doesn't really know what he's doing. You got to give him a break, sort of things like that. Again, I said not really my problem. He's got to deal with Colt now. Later that day, Mickey got officially hired and called me, basically asking me to train him what to do. Because Travis, like he said Travis doesn't know what he's doing. And if he is going to get trained properly, he wants to go to one of the best. So I gave him a quick rundown because I didn't want a repeat of what Travis did. But it kind of, I'm going to be real, like, why is he a manager if he can't train people? Why is he hiring people if he can't train them? Then I received a call from Bobby Porter, so you'll be able to, you know, verify with him. He said, "Is this Travis Knight actually a real estate person?" I said, "Yes, he's a manager." He said, "Well, him and Mickey are in Up and Atom right now, saying they are head of health inspection for the C.O.C. Which, according to Kane, when I mentioned this to him, is impersonating a government employee. Later that day is when I first noticed the Yellow Page ad, which I have sent to you, followed by a post on L with a little more, you know, details to it. One of my agents then saw them at one of her listings. Like, she just posted it. She went to look at the house and they were there. And she questioned why they were doing that. And then they, like, hit her with the, "Oh, you sound mad. Why do you care? It's just business." And then as they were walking away, muttered, "Oh, I wonder who she works for." Basically just, like, they're completely standing their ground in what they were doing.
Do we have any speculation as to why they were at their competition's listing?
I mean, probably to show it. We all have keys to the listings, right? We're all technically hired under the same company. We just have, like, little divisions of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not unusual for you to show somebody else's listing because the entire city still needs to keep turning. So, you know, if one person you might have been working with for multiple weeks calls you again and says, "Hey, you know, I'm still looking for this house. My last one fell through. Can I please look at this house?" It's not unusual for them to go show somebody else's listing.
Okay. So it's not necessarily like LS Estates, Elevated, you know, whatever name hell he went with, sorry. Knight Real Estate. It's not necessarily like you guys are competing to sell properties. It's just you're all assigned properties, and that is what it is.
Yeah, we're kind of bringing our own, you know, swing to our businesses, you know, gaining our own rapport around the city, you know, getting our own clients brought in by different reasons. And more people will be comfortable to go to Ellie, you know, for specific reasons. And other people might be comfortable to go to them or me. It's kind of just one of those things that's going to happen gradually throughout the weeks and months. But yeah, so it's not unusual.
Okay. So you don't think that for any reason he'd be there to tell people, you know, don't buy this?
No, but if anything, he could have been there to be like, you could go through us because we're offering a rebate.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Like, when I tell you it was a fresh listing, like 5 minutes. She was on her way there from the office and they were already there.
Oh, wow.
Because I was on the
Yeah,
phone with her
crazy.
at the time because we were talking about what property she should list.
Mm-hmm. I also did text you the picture so you could see what it looks like. The only reason why I have this photograph is because I'm training my employees with if you have these 3 listings, you should be picking this one for this reason, because these are the current guidelines that Colt gave us. For example, these 2 lower end properties, Strawberry and Forum, you would pick one of those over you would pick Mirror Park. More than likely, Travis had Basucci, and he had more than likely lower end properties. Instead of picking a lower end property, which we were told to do specifically under $100,000, he chose a $350,000 for his first listing. His very
and you
first
guys were
day.
specifically told by Colt not to, not to go above this 100,000.
Correct.
Not even to go even. not even the price.
Like
but just
no
the
Mirror
the
Park, no
specific-
Vespucci.
Yeah, no Mirror Park, nothing like that. The specific type of property has to be like an apartment, a small Southside house. And we were given explicit direction of that.
And he was twice. Colt confirmed with me, you know, when I had woken up after the listing had been made aware to me, that he had told him again the day before, that when he hired him, not to post it.
Apparently there's a famine and everyone is going crazy, ringing me up. Okay, anyways. Again, which I have no control over. People are coming to me. Jesus.
All right, so I put in fancy little bold text that the speculation is that they are showing up to listings to offer their rebate and essentially take the sale.
I mean, I believe it.
Okay, so I got Leah's statement. I got Ellie's big ass statement. Is there anything else you want to say? No, you're good, dude. I've written 10-page court reports in this city, so I'll be all right.
Okay, so I also, one day prior to this, I had woken up in the office because I slept over that night, and I woke up to a gentleman that was outside the
So real quick, just because I'm stupid and it's no fault of your own, what is your name?
Joanne Winters.
I've already spoken to you. Yeah, good to see you again.
Good to see you too. So I woke up, there was a gentleman outside, like the main office, sitting down at one of the PCs, and he was on the phone. I don't think this has too much to do with it, but I overheard him saying he was talking to someone from Al Dente's, I think, and he was just making comments like, we're going to change the real estate business, like the way we're going to do it, something about an old-fashioned way, which I later found out to be Travis himself. I didn't speak with him because he left. However, in regards to all of this, the day that I saw the L post as well, because Leah sent it to me, I woke up at the office again because I stayed over, and I then met who was Mickey, and I just introduced myself because I hadn't seen him before. He said that this was his second day on the job, and then he continued to say that on his first day he ruffled some feathers. He was just saying, he didn't mean it. He's just wanting to bring like a unique way to the realtor business. And then I asked him, he said that he was like, something that he offered people weren't happy with, which another realtor, May, who's under Ellie, said that, she called him a scammer. So I said, oh, what are you offering, if you don't mind me asking? And he said, basically, we're offering half of our commission to the people that bid, and if they win, then they get half of the commission. And then after that, that's when I saw Leah's text, and I just said, yeah, I'm talking to Mickey right now. I just heard what he offered, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then obviously I saw the L post through the text as well, and it's about the first-time buyer's rebate.
And has any of this been brought up to Colt already?
I texted Colt about the situation immediately. He had responded, I think, let me double check, a day ago. I saw him, actually, I didn't text him at first because I wasn't too sure which direction to go in. Unfortunately, it was really late, AU. I was like trying to make sure I thought about it very deeply before I went a specific route. Basically, I waited until next morning. I saw Colt on the L, so I was like, oh shit, let me text him. I texted him everything that happened a day ago, and I told him that it was, I told him my opinion that it was highly unethical to give money back on commissions to secure bids. I explained to him the people that all accounted for them doing that, and I said, please call me, it's urgent. He called me. He told me he was in the middle of catching some ERP thing, and he was very busy. And I said, well, what do you want me to do about this situation? It's very important. I need to report it to you or somebody. And he said, okay, go ahead and report it to C.O.C. And then I think I called you yesterday and you weren't around. So then this morning, and then after that, I had called Nash. He didn't answer. I texted him. I asked him for some advice. I said, please call me when you're around. I would like some advice. Again, because I was not 100% which route to take because of the severity of the issue.
Okay.
And like the position not being like formally announced to the city, and me getting different responses from different people saying what positions were actually legit.
Yeah, so this is what I know, okay? I know that Colt appointed Peanut for what I believe to be a bit of a ha-ha hee-hee. I could be wrong, whatever. Colt
That's what Larry
Nash,
told me as well.
Right. And Colt appointed Nash because Nash was more or less inside of MRPD begging for a job. So Colt, I did not get appointed by Colt. I instead was appointed by the mayor, the deputy mayor, and a majority vote from the council. In which Colt then was, I met with him and he told me, you have 48 hours to get this done, and I did it. And all I got was positive feedback from him, but for me to tell you that there is a definite position, that'd be a lie. I don't know. So, he has sent me numerous text messages talking about we should do this, we should do that. It's making me feel like I am there, but I don't have it on paper. I don't have anything explaining my job duties.
You don't have like an employment in your employment app?
Correct. So
okay.
I've just been getting paid through the state account by Kane. Yeah.
Well, that's more than I was paid. So at least you're getting paid.
Yep. So again, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and just be like, yeah, I'm Marco, the C.O.C guy, but I am trying real hard to be. So I already delivered him a report in depth about every business that could be reported on. Realty was not one of them because you guys were not accepting bids at the time. So I think that
no
reason to stick my nose and stuff like that.
Yeah, the tablet was scuffed and the person of the loan was completely broken. So we were kind of on a hold at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much the report. Because of the severity of it, I just need to make sure this is reported up the chain, I guess, as privately as possible, only because it seems to be that a lot of their employees might have other people either scared to talk or I don't know what it is. Because there was another individual that also accounted for this, but told me they do not want to be involved and they will not report it. That is the only reason. That's the only reason why I want it to be as private as possible, including, and not to say that the council members aren't great and the mayor, but they've repeated things I've told to them in multiple accounts to others. And I just don't want to be hunted. If that makes any sense. Sad to say. Well,
in the interest of transparency, I'll let you know probably stop telling stuff to Doug.
Oh, I don't really talk to him.
Well,
Yeah. I know he was like, what is it? What is it called? Wasn't he wearing like a cut when he came up to the to swear in?
Yeah, I'm unsure. He's an interesting guy, but Doug's the one that came to me. And then, because I was more or less moaning and groaning about it in front of Kane and Ellie, Ellie was like, yeah, you know, I heard you came at her kind of sour or some shit, basically. And I was like, I didn't think I did, but we're good. It's in the past. I made this complaint form for a reason. It's going to have, it has almost verbatim everything you guys just said. I typed real quick. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to submit it. And then the next time that I see Colt and he also has free time, you know, I'll speak to him just like I have already about some other businesses.
Yeah, if possible, if I can, again, like Ellie said about the other instances of not training your own employees, listing the wrong properties.
Impersonating. Like, are you technically a government employee if you work for the C.O.C? Because
well, it would be a government entity. I don't know. I don't know what this. You know what I mean? I'm not a law guy, so maybe when Kane is back from his little vacation, he can offer some clarity on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but again, if possible, the severity of the issue is even beyond this incident. It's to the point where I don't think they should be employed. We were all given a task, myself, Ellie, and TK, to come forward with 3 names. Myself and Ellie did a turnaround of 12 to 24 hours like Colt asked, and TK was nowhere to be found until days later.
Yeah, I was actually sitting there when he pulled you guys in for that. I don't know if you remember that, but I was sitting behind on the chair because I just had my meeting with Colt. And when I tried to make a joke, Mr. Knight cracked some kind of like wise guy chooch Italian thing at me and called me a paisan. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they're really pushing their whole mob mentality.
I mean, we're literally part of the mob before.
Yeah, if you want to be in a mob, then go be in the mob and don't come over here and pretend that you know what I mean? It's just, it's so weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I have all your guys' statements verbatim, so anything that you've suggested for Colt to take into consideration in terms of, you know, he shouldn't be practicing, all that jazz.
I mean, if you're too old and you don't know how to press list, when it literally says create listing or look GPS up, you probably shouldn't have the job if you're going to talk about extreme numbers and people's loans and availability.
Also, no other realtor, no matter how new they are, haven't done that. So I don't understand how someone that's supposed to be a manager can do that.
Yeah. Well, again, I noted the incompetence in the report because you guys, like I said, what you said, I typed. So
yeah.
But yeah, in regards to what Leah said, hey, we've got a lot of politicians that would like a word with you, okay? A lot of old people that shouldn't be doing their jobs, but hey, we're here to make a change, so.
I mean, yeah, but the difference is you know how to use a tablet, you know how to write, you know what I mean? He was basically using that as an excuse. Oh, I can't see, I pressed the wrong button. So what, you can just do whatever you want because you're going to say I can't see? Like, that makes no sense.
Oh, cool. The report's submitted, and hopefully you guys feel like you've been heard, and I'm gonna work on it.
All right, sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.